You have a family now, right?
I have
you
four kids. I
married
have four beautiful kids. Yeah. We were
four
married
beautiful
about
kids.
13 years. I have a daughter, Jordan, who's
Okay.
10, Jackson, who's 7, Jonathan, who's 5, and Jason, who's 3. So it's a wild ride.
How are you balancing that now? I mean, because business is different. Now having more responsibilities is different, right? And I mean, the organization is growing, so that is putting you into a place where it's the more demanding too. How do you normally like manage your week, your days, everything?
And that's a very good question. For me, I don't believe in balance.
Okay.
If that makes sense. There is no 50-50. Something's got to give. So in order for me to protect my family time and just having I just wanted a large family. I want to spend a lot of time with my family. And so I knew to create an imbalance that way, I had to create an imbalance this way, right? And so the level of intensity which I worked in my business, it was pretty intense. It was
Okay.
pretty intense. There were high standards, high pressure situations where, I needed to make things happen, right? Right. And people get inspired or they do it out of inspiration or desperation. I was really desperate where I needed to make it happen and in a large way, in a large sense where I could afford not just money wise, but in time wise to spend with my family. And so earlier years, that effort was put forth, right? And it was put in, and it was invested. And just, yeah. And so just creating imbalances, create a balance for yourself, right? And your benefit. That has really worked out for me.
It's interesting. Sometimes we see on social media there is people that talk about the morning routine and everything that going on. Do you have something that you follow every day? Because I'll be honest with you, like I've tried so many of them, and it's like they always keep changing on me. Do you follow that so that you could be successful in the business, or what's your process?
You know, I it's two different morning routines now, right? So no, my morning routine is wake up, right? Look, see my kids, drink my coffee, walk them to school, right? And then come into the office. When I was selling at a high level, I was in the office by 6:50. My first calls would go out by 7:15. We had role play dialogue practice at 8, right? 8 to 8:30, and 8:30 to 11, again, I'd be back on the phone calls. And then 11 to 11:30, it's lead follow-up time. I followed that system to the T for years on end, years on end. And within that, I think the difficult thing is because it's repeated on a daily basis. There's no more exciting stuff, right? When things are repeating Monday through Friday, Saturday, every single day, just mastering the boredom, right? I think mastering the boredom, not putting too much thought into it. It just has to get done. I think that was quote unquote the secret sauce.
And I know that we hear from a lot of coaches right now, which this is where it's like in my opinion, it's a mixed message. They say you don't have to like work too hard. Like I think they level down the responsibility that we all have when we become business owners. I've always thought, man, that is so dangerous to share with someone because let's be honest, sometimes there's a season, especially when you're brand new, that you do have to just double down, especially starting the morning with a big win. So, based going back to what you just said right now, if you were to give an advice to your younger self and knowing everything that you know now, seeing everything that you have picked up along the years, would you have advised your younger person to like do it the way that you did it, which was just grind and do it and get it done, or trying to find that new era of balance that everyone promotes?
I would do three things. I would give my younger self three things. Number one, find a coach or mentor faster, quicker, right? Don't consider finding a coach or a mentor a cost. Consider an investment.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to lay out a roadmap, a pathway for you to walk on where that in itself is a shortcut, right?
Okay.
Being able to pick someone's brain to get to what they know, right? What they went through. That in itself is just it's worth a lot, right? Number two is you got to surround yourself with like-minded people, solution-based thinking people. If you have the solution, they always have the problems, you're in the wrong room. If they have solutions and you always have problems, you shouldn't be there, right? So finding a good community that can support each other, I think that's number two. And number three, create a database, create a great system for yourself. I know it's one of those things where sales, you make a check, you go spend it, you invest it or whatever. But working in the business, creating a database using your CRM would, man, it's if I told my younger self those three things, I think it would have been great.
You know why I'm smiling right now so much? Because I asked you a question when we started the episode, and it's everyone's trying to find the shortcut. And I think you and I know exactly what that usually projects as, because we probably have seen it the same way. And in our industry, it's like, I want to get the leads, or I want to get the Zillows, or I want to get, all that stuff they sell you. And then in other industries, for anyone that is watching that is not in real estate, there's probably in other industries similar aspects of creating those quote unquote shortcuts. You literally just said what, in my opinion, is the real shortcut and the real way of speeding up your growth in the business, which is one, find the coach, two, get into the right space or the right community, and then three, build a database. Honestly, that right there, if there's anyone watching right now and it's like brand new into the business and you've been paying for random shiny objects, trust me, this right here that was just said is like, it's everything you need. It's everything and all you need. So this right there is just perfect. It's interesting, John. The whole idea behind Collected Closers is that, and also the podcast and the community that we have, is that there's usually a moment, we believe that before anyone else, or you can close anyone else, you have to close yourself. Close yourselves on believing that you could do whatever it is you want to do. Close yourself on believing that you're going to be able to succeed. Close yourself knowing that you haven't made a check in 10 months, but you're still going. Like, you're convincing and closing yourself to keep pushing forward. So where along the way, along through your journey, do you feel that you had to close yourself the most? Was it at the beginning, in the middle, now? Like, where has it been? And if you could describe that to our audience, that you believe you really needed to believe in yourself and close yourself and keep going. Is it?
It's, those thoughts, it comes up pretty often, right? Because there's new iterations of business that we have to handle, and we get to be involved in. And so the fear and, just closing yourself, the fact that I can do it, I don't have all the answers. It's not about the how, it's about the who, right? Somebody has the answers, the collaborative effort. So being in the right community, even at this space, even in my season of business, man, I love collaborating with people like yourselves, with the founding partners, with all the coaches and the leaders that we have within our company. I love having, collaborative effort there. One of the biggest kind of the flips that I had in my own personal business is that I was just too nice. I was playing too nice. That if I was polite enough, if I did the right things in terms of how other people wanted me to do it, then I would make it, right?
Mhm.
And I was given a choice. I was given a choice when before my first daughter was born, or shortly after she was born. I actually told my wife, you know what, for the money that I'm making, I could be a lot less stressed if I just worked at corporate. And she's the nicest person. If you ever met her, she's the nicest, most gentle person, the most patient person. And this one line has changed my trajectory forever. And a huge shout outs to her. She said then, are you gonna teach your daughter how to quit?
Wow, that's huge.
And I
Wow.
sat there, you know what? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I told
Nice.
myself then in 90 days, let's give ourselves 90 days to see what I can really do. Within those 90 days, I picked up 32 listings in 90 days, and I became the manager of the office that we ran back there on the 90th day, if you can imagine
Wow.
that.
Wow.
So, so just the intentionality, and just like, when people want shortcuts, they want shortcuts without the hard work. all the affirmations, right? All the kind words, all all the good stuff like you want to hear without action, it's just a dream. I've never worked harder in my life than that period right there. And with some intensity when I was speaking to prospects, there was some stuff that came out where, okay, it's clicking now. Being nice as a salesperson, I shouldn't be nice. I could be kind, I could be curious, but I'm not trying to be nice anymore, if
Wow.
that makes sense. So
So do you believe that someone can change their life in 90 days?
in 90 days, in 90
And
days, in 90 days, the world can flip upside down for your best interest.